jasmine, oolong, green, and white. Long ago, these 4 teas were skillfully brewed at the Blissful Brew. Then, everything changed when the shop's popularity threatened its existence. All Mr. Okuran, the shop's owner and tea master, could do was to recruit 4 teenage orphans to learn his trade and staff his shop. A year has passed since the orphans were hired, and although their skills have progressed, they still have a lot to learn before they can brew anything. But I believe that they have the potential to make the Blissful Brew the greatest tea shop in the world. Last time on Benders Brews, an Avatar Legends podcast.
You guys are currently inside the big open cavern for the 3rd trial. You successfully make it to the other side. The next challenge. The tunnel finally opens up into a room. The wind is shooting down the staircase, and it is so incredibly intense to the point where it's keeping you from even moving forward.
So while he's climbing up, I'm basically like putting my shoulder into him and I'm like shoving him forward.
Oh.
Brock?
Mika on your back. Sure enough, you guys make it to the other side safely.
Sick.
As you guys walk into the next room, you see a wide cavern filled with water.
So remember how when you first arrived and you asked if this place was haunted, then I mentioned there was a flesh-eating spirit. So this is where that spirit resides.
Guo hops into the boat and starts looking for a hat. All hands on deck.
Mika, that fear causes you to go a little bit more intense than you'd want to, and the waves start to kick up a little bit harder as you move the boat a little faster. Over the next probably 10-15 minutes, you guys finally reach the other side. The door starts to open. You guys look inside this room. Around the middle pedestal is Madame Yang. Welcome back, everybody, to Benders Brews Season 3, Episode 5. We left off last episode with quite the cliffhanger, but before, well, actually, we would have already had like a little what happened last time that you would have already heard up until this point, but we'll get to a quick verbal reminder for everybody of the very basics after we reintroduce the players and their characters. Dave.
I'm playing Guohan the Adamant. And as established last episode, Guo has smooth cheeks.
Yes.
No facial hair so far.
Not even a peach fuzz.
At 14 years of age. He has been experimenting with different tea, maybe tinctures, you would call them.
Tincture?
Just rubbing tea on his face, basically.
To try to get facial hair?
To try to have some sort of reaction. Prefer the desired reaction.
I was going to say,
hair.
I'm sure he's experienced a couple of negative reactions.
Yeah, he's got some rashes.
Rashes and acne and...
some light burns. No.
I like to think that there have been a couple of leaves that, like, at the very least, like, left kind of a faded, dark. So it kind of looked like you had like a 5 o'clock shadow.
Right,
like you came out into the Blissful Brew one day, ready for a day at work, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what's with your face?" And you just look like a dude that hasn't shaved in a day, really stressed out. Maybe you had bags under your eyes because you were tired.
No, I had tea bags
under
my eyes.
It is good. All right.
I got one.
All right, go for it.
So,
who are you?
I am Connor, and I'm playing Broccoli. And little to Guo's knowledge, occasionally he'll pluck a hair off his beard and like put it next to his pillow while he's sleeping to give Guo a sense of, oh, I'm growing a beard,
but it's falling out as quick as it comes
out. I gotta keep rubbing this leaves on my face. That's the cure.
I thought you were saying that that's what Brock did for his own. He takes his own beard hair and he puts it under his own pillow, and then every night the beard fairy stops by and gives him a yuan under his
and
pillow.
A little kiss
and it turns out it's just Mr. Okuran.
That would have been amazing.
He just reaches under there and he's like, "Oh, he's at it again. Brock, if you needed more money, you could just ask." Slips a yuan underneath. Runs off and puts Brock's beard hair in Mr. Okuran's beard hair jar he's collecting.
No, it's just giving Guo false hope that It's working.
Oh, sorry. I should have said the beard hair fair or spirit. There we go.
yeah.
The beard hair spirit.
They don't have fairies in the Avatar Last Airbender. Michaela, you look like you're ready.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm Michaela. I play Mika. And Mika's fun fact is that she really loves flowers.
Oh, okay.
And she has a goal to see some of the most rare flowers in her lifetime. Like kind of like a bucket list.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
just
awesome.
different types.
She was probably really excited in that cave with all the plants and stuff growing
Yeah.
there. Yeah, right on. And a tea shop's a good place because I like to think, I'm pretty sure, I mean, there's some flowers that are used in teas.
Like is it
They're
like
probably
the,
not the
the
rarest,
white
but-
lotus flower or something?
Ooh, that sounds
Yeah.
fancy. Very cool. Does she grow them or just admire
No,
them?
just admires them.
Right on, right on.
You know, where they naturally
Yeah,
grow.
very cool, very cool. All right, well, we'll have to integrate some flower viewing opportunity maybe. Last but not least, got Cameron.
So these facts are supposed to be fun.
They
can be
what?
morbid.
Tell me a different category they could fall under.
Mine's kind of dark.
That's fair.
Yes.
Yeah, we do that.
So last episode we talked about spirits, and you said Guo and Mika have seen a spirit. Well, Bill has a frequent. He doesn't dream, but rather has a nightmare,
Mm.
and it's the same one every time. And I won't say much, but the nightmare consists of a trapped spirit, and he had these nightmares a lot more often when he was at home. And that's played a fact and part of the reason he ran away. And ever since he ran away, these nightmares have been way less frequent, probably because he's just not around at home anymore.
Right.
But they will, once in a blue moon, this same nightmare will show up, and Bill will usually like take a moment before showing back up to everyone, just because he has to like compose himself basically after it.
Yeah. It kind of helps not being, around the things that remind you of what that
Correct.
kind of
Yes.
spirit
Triggers
stems from.
basically.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So being away from it definitely would ideally minimize it a little bit for sure. So interesting. Well, if I assume if people are interested in learning a little bit more, they can check out the prequel episode. I feel like it's related to that.
It is related to that.
That makes sense. Yeah. So definitely make sure to check out Bill. Well, make sure to check out all the prequel episodes. I know I say this every time they get brought up, but I'm really proud with how they turned out. I think it was pretty epic, really cool, like story, all kind of partially pre-enacted and written while also mixing the role play. So anyway, yeah, it's really cool. So definitely go check those out, especially if you're curious about what the heck Cameron's talking about. So awesome. All right, jumping back in for season 3, episode 5.
Madam Yang!
And before you stands, sure enough, the aforementioned Madam Yang inside of this chamber where all these fancy Air Nation relics and so on and so forth, this sort of inner sanctum. In the back of the room, you can see what looks like sort of a pretty wide opening in the mountain where some ropes kind of hang from. Suggesting that maybe they had scaled the walls of this mountain all the way up so that they could get inside before the rest of you. Whatever the case, Madam Yang stands there. She's holding what seems to be a case, and there's like a letter on it, and with a beamline view of it, you can see that it has, Brock's name on it, suggesting that this is obviously not last clue, but the next clue that Mr. Okuran had left behind here. It probably even features, the case itself probably features the Blissful Brew logo. I don't know why I'm kind of beating around the bush there, but whatever the case, in addition to that, in her hand, she holds what looks like a small clay turtle, something that she must have grabbed off of one of the pedestals, something that obviously has apparently some kind of value. But whatever the case, accompanying Madam Yang is 4 Hot Leaf Juice cronies, 4 of her elite operatives that have kind of caused you guys issues along some certain points. Mostly back at the tea party back in season 1.
Can I use a little tiny blast of water, like a BB gun pellet, at the turtle and just break it?
You're gonna break the Air Nation relic that she's stealing?
Well, would I know it's an Air Relic Nation, or I'm just mad at her?
I would say that she's picking it up off a pedestal.
Oh,
as
she's
you
not
walk.
holding it. I thought you said she was holding it.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, she's picking it up.
Mm.
So it's like in her hand. It's not very big.
Can I drop her into the ground again?
Well, I mean, you could. She doesn't seem super startled by you guys. She kind of gives you a bit of a smirk, and she's like,
Well, well, well. I was wondering if I'd managed to get in and out without you seeing me. But here we are. It's been quite some time since I last saw you. Or rather, since you saw me. After all, I've been keeping a close eye on the four of you ever since the funeral back in Gaoling.
That's hot.
Ew.
What?
Disgusting.
What's she doing here? Guru Tapik? What? We've been tricked. We've been hoodwinked.
he looks just as surprised, and he goes,
Led astray.
I'm gonna run towards her and punch her.
hold on.
Not even
thing.
what?
Let the scene develop.
That's my
again.
thing.
What a
I
thing
run
out of
blindly
time
into
here.
physical altercations. That's my thing.
In reference to Guohan's concern, you all turn to look at Guru Tapik, and he looks absolutely horrified. He says,
Please, ma'am. I don't know who you are, but the relic in your hand is very old and very important. Please, I beg you, put it back on the pedestal where you found it.
and she just kind of looks at it and she goes,
What? This old thing? No. I think I'll keep it.
and she puts it into her robe. She has like a pocket.
I really
There he
want to
is.
punch her.
You really want to punch her?
That's
really
my
wanna
thing. All right,
punch
I'll
her.
run with her.
All right, the two of you guys.
I
just-
You
can't-
tackle her, I'll punch her.
I can't let her not, but there's also 4 other guys there too.
Well,
Are
I'm
the-
still gonna punch her.
I would imagine we're gonna have to go through some of the other guys first, so maybe we pump the brakes.
No, I'm,
it's
I'm
a little.
I'm little and wily. I can.
Let's not be too hasty. You know it's weird when I'm saying that, but
it is kind of weird.
Brock, you're boring.
I'm boring.
I'm literally full of rage. I'm just going.
You're full of rage. You said that with such a giddy voice.
What's the
I'm
facial
full
hair
of rage.
situation on these leaf juice
Yeah.
employees?
how
They,
they
they wear
looking?
like masks, so you can't even see their faces.
It's not a fair fight. Now.
They look like they can fight.
Yeah, they all take stances.
I
Guys,
want to punch her.
I bet they got some beards under those masks.
Probably.
But you know
guys
it's-
are pretty
I'm
rough.
running.
But you
Yeah,
know
but
what they
they
don't
don't- you're
have? They
running
don't have
towards-
a captain's
yeah,
hat.
they don't have a hat.
They don't got a cap.
They're hatless.
That's right, Brock.
Exactly.
A captain's got to be brave. Captain's got to lead the charge.
That's right. Yeah,
That's right. We're all going in, right?
I-
Well,
you
yeah, I've got your
I
back.
start
We're going
walking towards him, strutting, puffing out my
Do we-
little chest.
Bill's gonna walk behind you and he's gonna whisper, "Do we start snapping again like last time?"
That was pretty effective, all things considered. All right, so I mean,
why
it
is
sounds,
Mika just sprinting ahead?
I was gonna say, so it sounds like everybody's moving in. It's just a matter of
It's just
like,
Mika's dead sprinting.
well,
while we're
Mika
all-
and Brock. I think
Yeah,
because
we're
you said
running. I think Woe's strutting and Bill's
strutting alongside
strutting
him.
along. So he's doing like the Conor McGregor, like with the arms.
I'm more. I'm more like, yeah, Guo's definitely not prepped for this situation, so Bill's gonna protect him and be like, you did it yourself.
But whatever the case, this sounds like a combat exchange. So that's what we're gonna jump into. So get your little cards ready. Look at your moves and so on and so forth. So you guys are gonna pick out the approaches. There we go. Yes, pick out your approach. Yeah.
Well, one of mine just fall under advance and attack.
Okay.
I will, even though I'm sprinting, I will evade and observe.
All right. Is anyone taking defend and maneuver?
I am taking defend and maneuver.
You are taking defend and maneuver.
I
Okay.
am also taking defensive maneuver.
Okay. I'll let you guys go first. So you guys are going to be rolling with focus.
I will assess the situation for the punch where it matters.
Oh, is it-
Is that defend and maneuver?
Is that like one of your special moves?
Yeah, it's one of my special moves.
Yeah. Then yes.
When you assess the situation, you can always ask who or what here is most vulnerable to me, even on a miss. Remember to take +1 ongoing to act in accordance with the answer.
It technically isn't a combat move, but you don't have to be in combat. Like you can interchange between the basic moves and the combat moves. But whatever the case, yeah, you're rolling assess the situation. Well, yeah.
Ooh, 11.
11. Okay, so what does that do for that particular ability? Not the assess the situation, the punch where it matters or whatever the case.
I can always ask who or what here is most vulnerable to me. So on any turn after this, I can ask who or what's most vulnerable, and then if I act on that, I get a +1 to my roll.
Okay. Awesome. So
I guess it doesn't count as like a move.
Right. But so it tells you to do assess a situation, right? Like that's part of the ability. So you got an 11, so you actually asked 2. So one of those questions can be the one that comes with your ability.
Yep.
And then you also have the other questions on assess a situation. So you could ask one of those as well.
Okay. So I already know I know that that's going to be a given.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask who is the biggest. Well, I guess if I ask the biggest threat, it might be Madame Yang. So who amongst the grunts is the biggest threat?
Oh man, I mean they all seem pretty equally geared up.
Do any of them have weapons, or are they bare?
Yeah. Let's say they all have. Man, I was trying to think of like a really intimidating tea-making utensil that they would have as weapons, and
Well, I mean,
that's what they have equipped with them. But I think they would.
Boiling water, I think, is.
Yeah, that's true. I think they all have like climbing stakes in their hands. And so those are kind of sharp, but you notice that they also seem to probably all be benders of some kind. I would actually probably argue that they are all earthbenders. They all kind of take a stance, and you, especially as an earthbender, you can recognize earthbending stances when you see them, and they all take a stance that you recognize.
Okay.
And then what was the question that comes with your ability? It was like something about weaknesses.
Who or what is most vulnerable to me?
Okay. Let's see here.
But if they're all sort of equally yoked.
Right.
Who's the pretty lady he can...
Well, I was going to say, you
hit
could
on
obviously
friends?
turn around and start attacking your friends. They would all be obviously unexpected to that idea. Therefore weak to you. But no, more importantly, Madame Yang has both of her hands full right now. Well, I guess she did put the turtle in one of them, but otherwise, she doesn't have anything, no weapons or anything like that. So in theory, she's weakest. If you were to say...
If I were to charge her...
Right.
But
now,
then
technically, you'd have to get past the people, so maybe she's not quite like the weak link
we'll
per
see
se.
if I get my punch in.
You got to get through the grunts first.
Right.
I'm small and wily.
I'm gonna say that one of them seems to have what looks like maybe a little bit of a limp. He takes a stance, and his leg looks a little weak. So I'm gonna give that. That's
Madam Yang
I'm supposed to
probably
use
kicked
your
him.
guys' abilities and moves to help me develop the story. So that's how I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
So one of them seems a little bit, maybe he's injured himself on the way here, or herself. It's really kind of hard to tell when they're wearing masks and everything.
Madame Yang probably kicked her.
Oh,
And-
jeez.
She
I mean, that's entirely
she's
possible.
rude.
She is rude. That's true.
She
Hot
doesn't
leaf
care about her
juice.
staff.
Yeah, hot leaf juice doesn't have any short-term disability.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that. So that was your combat attempt, and then Bill, you're also taking defend and maneuver. What are you doing? I mean, I guess you're
Divert.
Divert. Okay, tell me about divert. That must be one of your
It's
moves.
just if one of my allies is about to get attacked, I can jump in their way. And
Oh,
I
okay.
can defend them and also take the damage for myself and then retaliate.
Nice. Okay, very cool. So that's kind of at the. Well, did you roll for that?
Yeah, I just did 13.
13. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So actually, because I'm trying to remember, on a 10 plus, you choose one from the list. That's one of your practiced
Yeah.
techniques. So yeah, you're good to go.
Learned, practiced, and mastered.
Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, you're good to go to easily do that. So okay, so you take that stance up,
And I'm
ready to
protecting
go.
Quo.
Oh,
All
okay.
it
Oh,
does.
you have to pick somebody.
Yeah, I
Oh,
pick
okay.
an ally to defend.
All right.
If they don't get attacked, then I just spend the turn.
Doing nothing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Okay, so you prepare, you kind of like step towards Guo's side, readying
Well, like
to...
I said, I'm following him, and
Yeah.
we're doing the snap and stride.
The snap and stride. You've got your staff at the
Yeah.
ready in one hand, you're
Yeah.
snapping in the other hand. Awesome. Okay, Madame Yang is also taking defend and maneuver. She technically takes a couple of different moves, all things considered. She shouts out, she says,
It seems you have no wish to hear the tales of how I followed and stalked your every move ever since leaving Gowling.
move
We
up
don't
until this
care.
Well, what if we get her monologuing?
point. I added
That's
monologue.
true.
Maybe you can stop by my up-and-coming hot leaf juice Gowling shop once we're open, and I'll dish all the details.
She's using defend and maneuver. She's using seize a position, and she bolts for the opening, grabs one of the ropes, and hops out the door.
Excuse me.
Or the window, or whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely not.
You see Guru to peek. He was probably going to also defend a maneuver. He was going to do something to protect you guys, but as soon as he sees her fly or jump out the proverbial window with one of the rare Air Nation artifacts that obviously has some sort of importance to him, he also goes running and leaps out the window, leaving you guys here with just the hot leaf juice employees.
Why did she even
What
come
were
on
you
this trip?
I was running
She
to
was here to
punch
get
her.
something, obviously.
So you were advancing it.
Yes.
And then that takes me to advance and attack. And Mika, you took it. Did Guohan also take it? No. Okay, you're doing invasive. Okay. Mika, what are you doing with your advance and attack? Or actually, you roll with passion first, and then you can tell me what you're doing. Because we have to find out whether or not you get to do anything.
Apparently not, because Madame Yang just doo-dooed out of here.
I got a plan.
8.
An 8. Okay, perfect. So you can use one basic or master technique.
I'm excited for this idea. Or she's not gonna get far. I got an idea.
It's got an idea.
I've got an idea. I may not have a plan, gentlemen.
Well,
But I've got an idea.
I was gonna strike, but since I can't strike,
I
I'm
may
gonna
not have a brain.
smash.
You can strike.
Well,
Why
she's
can't you
not,
strike?
I may
because
not
she's
have a brain.
here.
Oh, well, you can strike one of the others.
But
So
that's
I'm
it.
gonna smash something.
Okay, you're just upset. You're like, frickin' balls. Okay.
Wait, I don't want to smash something.
Okay, never mind. She does not want to smash everybody.
Hold on a second.
But she's too fatigued.
She's too tired.
All of my things are.
Well, you can strike instead.
You just punch one of the guys. Teach him a lesson.
So sad. I'm gonna smash something. I don't care.
Okay, tell me what you are doing.
I am gonna use the one of the empty pedestals.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna shove it towards somebody or something.
Wow, Mika's using physical force. Okay, sounds good. You shove a...
I'm a teenage girl, you know. I have a lot of emotion right now.
Okay, that's totally fair, I think. Awesome. So you grab one of these pedestals that's sitting in the room, and you just hurl it at one of the hot leaf juice employees, maybe probably one of them closest to the window, as if you were trying to like hurl it out the window after Madame Yang, whatever the case. It slams into this hot leaf juice employee, and they are now impaired. They've been hit with this giant rock kind of unexpectedly. So I'm gonna mark them on that. Whoa, you're taking the... Oh, actually, no, sorry. They're all doing advance and attack. Yeah, I forgot about that. Awesome. So they're going to do 2 moves. So they attend to commands. They get a additional fatigue on all attacks made next exchange. So not this exchange currently, but they're all essentially inspired by Madame Yang's words, which was to stop them at any cost. I don't know if I said that.
I don't think you did.
Okay. Well, that was her.
So I guess that's not really their objective now.
Whatever the case, that's their primary one. Otherwise, they're going to 3 of them that are, well, actually the one that's impaired will also, no, the one that's impaired doesn't do it. I'm going to say he's unable to, as he picks himself up from the pedestal that was thrown at him. But whatever the case, the other 3 go to attack. One of them swings a punch at Brock. Brock, you have an option here. You can either mark 2 fatigue, a condition, or shift your balance away from center. Your choice.
I can't try and just block it.
No.
I suppose not. 2 fatigue.
Mark a condition or shift your balance away from center.
Well, let's see. If I shift balance away from center, I'm at force +3.
Ooh, getting on the edge there.
And that's right where I want to live. I'm going on the
my gosh, he's going towards the edge.
Balance is now force +3.
Holy cow. All right, sounds good. One of them strikes at Guo, which is therefore blocked by Bill. So what happens in that situation, Bill?
I take a fatigue.
Okay.
And then I return whatever damage they were going to do back at them.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So they would do 2 fatigue. So you are dealing 2 fatigue back at them.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome. So describe to me what happens. This guy comes over. I'm going to say that he like jams his fist into the ground. As he's walking, he kind of like leans over and just kind of scrapes his hand against the ground. And as mentioned before, I would argue that they are all earth. I say I argue. I'm the guy making the story here. They're all earthbenders. So he like scoops up stone as he goes and he forms it into like a stone fist and goes to lunge towards Guo. You quickly step out to deal with this. How are you doing that? Like give me the visual.
I'd like to imagine that as he like is raising his hand to like Hulk smash
Nice.
Guohan, Bill just kind of steps in. He like slides in mid snap.
Yeah.
And he like redirects his bow staff right to like alongside his wrist as he's swinging, and he redirects it so it goes straight down.
Oh, cool. So he
that,
sort of like spins
so
it
I
back.
basically throw his body straight down, and he just lands smashing into the ground.
Bam! He slams
Like
into
face
the ground.
first, yeah.
Awesome. I love it. And he just, you just see his kind of head kind of bounce a little bit as it hits the ground.
Yeah, and then Bill snaps again.
Very intimidatingly. Fantastic.
Right in his face.
All right, the last one sees Mika hurl that column over at the other buddy and runs.
He's very scared.
He's a little scared.
His knees are buckling.
And he thinks, wow, she's obviously the strongest person of this group. I need to take her down. So he too rushes forward and he does like a spin kick and kicks a stone at you. Just as I mentioned before to Brock, you need to take either 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance away from center. Which would you prefer?
Definitely not the fatigue.
Okay.
I'll shift it away from center.
Oh, all right. More towards survival.
Yep.
Deeper she goes into survival. You block this chunk
My
of
friends
rock.
tried to stop me from going to punch Madam Yang, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to lean towards them.
Yeah. All right. Sounds
Okay,
good.
I
Well, whatever
got
the
Madam
case,
Yang for you. I got it.
Okay.
You
I'm
managed to
waiting.
block this chunk of rock, but your survival instinct, this desire to just kind of block out your friends, you sort of horse blind. You don't even see your friends kind of in the background anymore.
I'm rage
You're
blind.
Rage, yes. You're furious. You're focused as you angrily stalk towards this enemy that just hurled a rock at you. Whoa, you are evading and observing. What are you doing? Or actually roll with, you clear 1 fatigue.
He's
And then you
laughing.
roll with creativity or harmony.
All right. I'm going to do a fighting technique called Eat Dirt. And so the guy who just was attacking Mika, I'm going to lift up a small segment of dirt at his feet and push his ankle out so he's like
Oh.
trips him up.
Nice. Okay. So roll with either creativity or harmony. It's up to you. And if you have a fatigue, you can clear a fatigue. That's kind of another one of the added benefits of evade and observe.
Creativity. That's a 7.
7. Okay. So yeah, you still get to do either a basic or master technique, which this would fall under that. Okay. So you slide this little bit of rock out from under this guy that's attacking your friend Mika. What does it do again?
Your target is impaired and unable to choose, defend, and maneuver in the next exchange.
Ooh, okay. All right. Sounds good. So you slide this chunk of rock out from under his foot, causing him to kind of stumble a little bit, and he is now impaired. He maybe like twisted his ankle a little bit. You know how like when you step wrong and it kind of like twists your foot as you come down, it kind of does that. Now he's kind of sore. Whatever the case, he cannot take defend and maneuver next turn, and he also has a -2 to all physical actions. And so that's moving, that's where we got there. So we're moving into the next round of the exchange. So everybody pick a move that you would like to do, or an approach rather.
I will advance and attack.
Is anyone taking defend and maneuver? Since that's the first one.
I am.
You're taking, okay.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Bill, what are you doing with defend and maneuver? Or actually rather roll with focus and then you do it. Sorry. I always forget that.
I'll roll 14.
Oh, holy cow. Okay.
So I figured I stepped in front of Gohan when I defended him the last turn. So
Yeah.
now I'm just walking forward over this dude.
Okay.
And if another guy comes to like defend him as I'm standing above him,
Nice.
I'm ready to retaliate.
Okay, sounds good. And you actually, if you're doing basic moves, you can actually take 2 since you rolled a 14.
Oh, I can take a second one?
Yeah, so you can retaliate and you can also do one of the other 2.
Oh, okay. Then I'll seize a position
Okay.
as my second one since I can't. And the position I'm seizing, it says I can seize, establish an advantage position. Basically, the advantage position would be over the guy I'm above.
The guy that you just knocked over?
Yeah, so I'm standing above him, so I have an advantage
Nice.
against him.
Yes.
Probably not anyone else, but I have an advantage where like he's underneath me and I have my bow staff above him, and like if he tries to attack me, like
Oh, okay. I was going to say, so at
he
the
has
bottom
to
of it-
take a fatigue if he was to attack me, basically,
Oh, okay.
on top of whatever he does.
Oh, it says any foe engaged with you can mark 1 fatigue to block this technique. I would say he doesn't.
Yeah.
But whatever the case, so it says engage, disengage with a foe, overcome a negative status effect, establish an advantage. Okay, so yeah, okay, so in order to attack you, because you kind of have an advantage, this is the guy that's on the ground. You basically like step on him. You're like
Yeah.
keeping him on the ground. If he wants to do anything, he's gonna have to exert himself a little extra in order to do any kind of attack against you.
Okay.
So, awesome, I like it. And then otherwise you are retaliating.
Retaliating. Anyone
So-
else attacks me, yeah.
Yes, perfect. Okay, sounds good. Hey everyone, Skylar here. Are you a fan of Session Zero Heroes and the shows we produce, or the characters involved? Then you should check out our epic merch we have available online. From shirts to stickers and everything in between, we worked hard on creating a variety of designs and made sure to get your favorite characters on those products as well. Whether you're looking for broccoli on a hoodie to wear to the gym with you, or maybe Fizzlefinger's tote bag to stuff your ill-gotten gains in, we've got you covered. Just head over to our website at sessionzeroheroes.com and click on our merch tab to see all the amazing products and designs that you can get. Now back to the show. Whoa, you're doing an defend and maneuver?
Yep.
Okay, so roll with focus, and then based on that, you can tell me what you are up to. Oh,
8.
8. Okay, sounds good. So you can either use a basic or master technique.
I'm going to use master technique, pinpoint aim.
Ooh.
So take the time you need to line up a perfect shot. Become prepared in the next exchange if you advance an attack, yada yada.
Yeah. Awesome. So you are now prepared. Is there someone in particular that you are lining up a shot with?
So Madame Yang has kind of exited the scene.
Yeah, a little bit. Or at least she's flown the
I'm gonna
window.
keep my eye out for her to come back in case Brock flushes her out somehow.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
And I'd say that, you kind of take a step back to kind of observe the scene in front of you and prep your attack. So I'm not going to say that like you have to necessarily pinpoint on one specific person. If it comes back around to the next exchange, you can kind of alter that. It's not like
But
Hunter's Mark in D&D.
Right. So I reach into my pouch and pull out a small rock.
Nice.
Kind of get that ready in my hand to fling out.
The classic Guo's pouch of pebbles.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Jumping over to advance and attack. Who is taking advance and attack?
I am taking advance and attack.
Okay.
All right, so first, can you describe the scene in front of me all the way to those ropes that are hanging from from my point of view to them ropes. What
Okay.
what is the scene looking like?
All right, sounds good. So in total in this room, there are 5 different little pedestals, each with three of them with a relic of some kind on them, some sort of Air Nation relic. One of them was the one that Mika threw at one of the other hot leaf juice employees, which is across the room closest by the window. He's kind of picking himself up. He's pushing this pedestal or whatever off him that Mika you watched, she just like picked it up and threw it at him. I'm sure there's a little bit of pride rising up in your heart as you saw this.
That's my dishwasher.
That's my dishwasher.
AK.
That's my fake wife.
That's my sister wife.
Whoa, all right. This is kind of weird.
I mean, if we're going off of last episode,
Yeah.
or 2 episodes ago,
I
Right.
did say I was his sister.
His sister.
I
and
didn't tell
my
him.
wife.
Oof.
My wife.
There's an empty pedestal that's like kind of directly in front of you. That was the one that Madame Yang had taken. Whatever Mr. Okuran had left behind for you guys came off of that pedestal. Obviously, she took the turtle one as well, but that was on the one that Mika threw. Moving on, there is one Hot Leaf Juice employee that is currently being stood on by Bill. He is standing next to Guo and is confronting another one. And then the third one that's not kind of picking himself up off the ground is the one that's directly challenging Mika.
Gotcha. And what's the rope situation looking like that Madame Yang escaped on?
Yeah, there are 2 ropes that are hanging out of this sort of open gap in the mountain's wall. And so you can just, I mean, it's like just outside, right? Like open air outside of it.
Okay.
And you can see obviously that one of them is kind of taut. That's the one that she grabbed onto and is sliding.
I may not have a plan, gents, but I've got an idea. Okay, my plan. I would like to invoke Brock's ability to Bugs Bunny his way. So in my head, this is the plan.
Okay.
Brock runs, dives into the ground like Bugs Bunny, under all the action, towards where Madame Yang escaped.
Okay. Hoping that you can like burst out.
Hoping that I'm going to pop up at the ropes. To which I then plan to either hoist or like, I either want to cut the rope that Yang is on just to send her to her death. Depending on how high this
So
is.
you're not even planning on going like under and popping out of the mountain. You're just trying to get under the enemies currently and then try to get to the rope.
Trying to get to the rope because then
I was like, man, you're asking a little bit much, but
No,
that's a lot more reasonable.
Get to the ropes because then I plan to, depending on if she's far enough down,
Mm-hmm.
I can try and just jump down, confront her, or try and pull her up.
Okay.
Because I feel like she's a frail old woman. I feel it, and Brock's a little.
She's like middle aged. She's about. You gotta keep in mind, her and Okuran like went to school together.
She's probably within your age limit.
Oh yeah, she's in my ballpark.
He's into all
so-
older ladies. That's right.
She's in my ballpark, but I'm just thinking like, would Brock be able to realistically pull her back up? Or if she's high enough off the ground, I can cut the rope
Right.
and then send her plummeting to her inevitable death.
Sure.
Or I can jump down and try and confront her. But I plan to just, at this point, Bugs Bunny my way to the ropes
Right.
and do that.
Okay. So you can absolutely do that, but I will say I think this falls under seize a position.
Okay.
Which
so
would
I
be a
will-
defend and maneuver, which is fine. We can do that.
So I will seize a position.
Yes. So you are rolling with focus in order to do a defend and maneuver.
Yikes. That's, well, with my plus, it's a 7.
So, hey, that's still a basic move. You can still do a basic move with that. All right. So
Let's
you
go.
leap into the air and comically dive into the dirt and stone below you, and you begin to tunnel over, popping out over by the sort of window opening of this chamber. And you take a peek outside, and you can see, in fact, Madame Yang sort of just like free. What do they call that? Free. I mean, basically free falling,
Free scaling?
Yeah, free scale. Yeah. Free scaling down the mountain, kind of holding the rope as she kind of just drops down. She's about, let's say, halfway. You see Guru Tapik. He's on an air glider. He's kind of soaring after her, pretty straight down. He's not far behind her.
How long is this rope?
It is long enough to reach all the way down to where you can see a pathway that kind of like must curve around the mountain. So it's maybe, let's say 200 feet.
Okay.
And there's a cart sitting down there with a hot leaf juice logo on it, and it's tethered to a couple of ostrich horses.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah. She had a prepared escape. There's also a hot leaf juice employee in there who's like the driver.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got stuff to think about.
All right. Sounds good. Well, that's perfect. Okay.
And How far down is she?
She's about 100 feet.
Yeah, I'd say
so
about
she's
halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, all the hot leaf juice employees are continuing their advance and attack. They're each going to strike as best as they can to try to hurt all of you, essentially. Let's start with the one under Bill, who is going to have to mark a fatigue in order to get up at all. Okay, so the one under Bill, he sort of struggles and manages to roll out from under your foot. He takes a fatigue from the exhaustion of doing so, and then he hops up and he just takes a couple of like basic punch strikes at Bill. So you choose either 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance away from center.
Me?
Yes.
I take a fatigue and return the damage back to him with my retaliate.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. He goes to throw a second punch, he goes to throw a punch, and you retaliate, you dodge, punch at him or strike at him probably with your bow staff.
Yeah. So
and he goes down.
Yeah, he jumps up and he turns to like roll under my feet, and Bill just kind of sidesteps as he does this.
You're just
and
like,
as he
go
rises to like punch from his knees, Bill just kind of like whacks his bow staff on top of his head. You just hear like a coconut sound effect, and he goes straight back down.
Nice. I like it. Awesome. The one that was over in the corner who had the pillar thrown at him, he's back up. He turns, he sees Brock standing there by this open windowsill, and he turns to go take a swing at him. So Brock, once again, so you have the choice, take 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance. Now again, just to reiterate with you guys, if you hit the end of your fatigue, it's not the end of the world. It's once you hit full fatigue and all your conditions are marked that you are out.
Like dead?
Well, no. It's you're removed from the scene is the way they put it. So you're basically unconscious.
I will say I'm going to be angry.
Oh.
-2 to guide and comfort in a stasis situation.
That fits Brock pretty well.
That really does. He never assesses a situation.
All right, but because he is attending to commands, you do take 1 fatigue.
God,
and
killing me here.
Because he is a group, he gets an additional attack, so he's going to do another strike against you.
Oof.
So take a second of the options previously mentioned.
All right, I guess I'm not going to be afraid. You can't scare me.
Brock doesn't scare easy.
Fine, I'll be insecure.
Yeah, you're like, how is this guy punching me so
Why
much?
did he punch me twice? Usually we take turns. I punch, you punch. I punch, you punch.
Mika, jumping over to you and the guy that you are taking on, it also is doing a strike.
He's striking me?
Yes.
You can't hit a woman. Then it's law.
You look at the curvatures of this person's body and realize it's a woman.
Oof.
You've lost your defense.
So you're.
She is striking you. So you get to you
I'm
can
not gonna
choose.
just stand there and take it.
Okay, that's good. But you do have to mark either. Well, it would be 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance away from center. You will take a fatigue either way.
Well, I only have 1 fatigue to give.
Okay, so you have to either mark a condition or shift your balance away from center.
I'm going to mark a condition.
Okay.
Just 1.
Yep.
I'm gonna be angry because I am angry.
That's fair. And then you take that fatigue as well.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, perfect. And then she's gonna strike a second time.
Are you freaking kidding me?
That's how it's supposed to work. This is the thing that I learned that I was doing
Kick,
wrong
kick,
in the
kick.
combat situations. Yeah, was they get 1 plus what they're supposed to or what they're shown as. Which I'm like, why don't they just mark that? Why don't they just say plus whatever? But that's just how the game is apparently set up. So you have to choose another one of those options as previously mentioned.
So mark a condition, basically,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
move my.
Or
center.
move your balance.
Bo's doing fine, aren't you, Quill?
Yep. Doing just peachy.
There's one.
I'm angry and insecure.
There's one guy
Yes.
left.
Yeah, because there were
I'll
four of them.
move.
Oh,
I'll move
jeez.
my
So this guy
balance. So I'm
followed me?
farthest away currently.
He's just standing.
You're at the edge.
I'm at the
Oh,
edge.
she might go off the edge. Awesome. Okay. And then finally, there's one left. It's going to approach Guohan. You're not defending him anymore, right?
I'm in front of him. I don't
Right.
know. It's up to you as the
I like to think that he does.
drawer of this
Ah,
mental
man.
map.
You know what? So I'll say he rushes up to Bill then, since Bill is standing in front. And he's going to also, he's going to pressure you from advance and attacking.
Okay.
Basically, he starts swinging at Guo, and you kind of step in front, and you're looking at two guys now, and they're swinging at you and Guo, and you're just focusing on keeping them from hitting Guo, I would assume, since you were kind of in that moment of protecting him.
Uh-huh.
And then in that moment, he's also striking. So you choose to do 2 fatigue, mark the condition, or shift your balance.
Would my retaliate carry over to this one, or did I use it on the other guy?
Yeah, it says each time a foe inflicts. So yeah.
I do it again.
Okay, sounds good.
But since I don't have a fatigue,
Oh, I guess that one guy's down. So technically it's just this guy, but whatever the case, same concept.
I am out of fatigue, so I have to take a status.
Okay, sounds good. But you do inflict a fatigue back.
Bill is insecure now.
Oh.
Why you gotta keep hitting me, man?
I think I would think that you're insecure about the idea of being able to protect Guo.
Yeah.
Because these guys are
I'm
coming
starting
in hard.
to feel it.
Yeah, you're starting to feel it. You're getting tired. You're like,
Yeah.
I can't protect my friends.
Does
Will
not like me?
He stopped snapping.
He stopped snapping. Why did he stop
Did I do mine?
Oh yeah, what was your? Oh sorry, yeah. Are you doing evade and observe?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing with that?
Well, I was going to either bolster or hinder. Or,
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to do.
Do you clear one fatigued?
Yeah, you get to clear 1 fatigue and then roll with either creativity or harmony.
Creativity.
So you use a moment to kind of take a step back and breathe, letting kind of the oxygen fill your lungs, feeling refreshed. So you get that fatigue back. You start to feel a little bit more focused and refreshed for the battle.
10.
10. All right. So you can actually take, if you wanted to, you can take 2 basic techniques. And if I remember correctly, and people might say things about it when they listen, but I believe you can, in fact, take the same move twice.
Which means I can hinder the guy I threw something at?
Sure.
Okay.
How are you doing that? Just for the purposes of...
I'll take an intimidating step forward towards another thing in between me and him.
Oh, okay. So
Or
you go.
whatever.
So you reach over like you're gonna grab another of the pillars.
Yeah.
And he kind of like flinches. So he's stunned. He's caught off guard. He's a little bit nervous about what you just did. He can't act or respond until he steadies himself. So that's what he will do on his next move. And then again, you can take a second action as well from the evade and observe. It can be bolster and hinder. It can be something else. It's totally up to you. But don't forget that you also have the person that's actually in front of you attacking.
Can I see what Brock's doing?
Yeah, I would say you can see
Well,
him.
then I would like to aid him because that is also still my goal is Mad Meing.
Okay, sounds good. So you see him over there. He's right next to the rope, but he's got this dude that's fighting him and attacking him. Brock, what were your conditions that you have right now?
I am angry and insecure.
Okay, so what are you? You shout something to him to help him clear angry or insecure. What are you shouting to him?
Nice pecs.
Be the boulder, bro.
The boulder is
Be the
conflicted.
man I know you can be.
That's such a
That'll-
wife thing. Does not
take
That
the
is such a
insecurity
sister wife
out.
thing to say. I am so secure in myself.
Brock, you suddenly feel that you can, in fact, be the man
You're-
that you can be.
You know,
I
I'm
can't.
implying that you should lie on your psycho tendencies, you know?
What makes you think that Brock is a sociopath? Think
She
psycho.
literally buried Mad
What
Meing
part?
under the...
What part of the 3 seasons of Broccoli's existence lead you to believe that he's a psychopath? Was it burying a human alive?
Yes.
Was it punching another human through a wall and
Yes.
then blocking off another guy's escape?
Yeah.
Wanting to kill a
Keep
man
going.
on Soul Rest Day.
Yeah.
What was it? Soul's Day?
Soul's Day.
I think it was Soul Rest.
But I didn't. Like, I haven't killed anyone
But I
that I know
didn't.
of.
That's the key thing.
Well,
here.
I'm just saying, what happens to Madame Yang happens to Madame Yang.
Be the man that you can be.
Well,
I
I got some
know you
options.
Oh,
can
that
be.
she knows you
I've
can
got options though for my next move.
be. And Mika has dark thoughts, so what she knows you can be is a dark version of yourself.
Yeah.
See,
so
that-
like I
You know, it goes with my whole angry thing,
It
you
does.
know?
It does.
See,
Oh yeah, and she's angry.
I did breathe, but now I can just, like, be maybe a little bit
Looney
clearly
Tunes
angry.
theme. I can just
That's
drop
right.
a giant boulder on her like Wile E. Coyote.
Do it.
I can do that.
She'll
I
probably
could-
just break it.
No, she wouldn't.
She got out of the earth somehow.
She wouldn't.
Okay.
We still haven't addressed that.
Anyway, moving on.
I was gonna say, moving on. We can, yeah. So we're moving into the third section of combat exchange. The guys in front of you look like crap. They look like they've gotten real beat to heck. Whatever the case, everybody decide what combat approach you're taking this round, and within that, is anyone taking defend and maneuver?
I will.
Yeah,
I will
okay.
maneuver and I will maneuver, not defend.
Okay,
It's the
sounds.
same.
I will maneuver and
It's
not
all
defend.
part of it all, but nevertheless, okay, you sound real eager.
Well,
Brock.
let
Oh, you want Bill to go first? Okay. Bill, what are you doing?
9.
9. Okay, so you can do one basic or one mastered. Which would you prefer?
Retaliate.
Retaliate. Okay, sounds good. You're still blocking Guo. You're making sure that Guo doesn't
I'm-
take a single poke.
If there's one thing Bill's good at, it's defending people.
That is true. That is true.
I
That's
feel
his big
like
thing.
you haven't learned that now. Bill defends.
Yes.
Brock's unhinged. It is a.
And you've taken out one guy so far.
Yeah,
As we
I'm
mentioned
about
before.
to take out a
He's
second.
fully
guy.
down.
I have not.
Brock.
I will be seizing a position.
Okay, what is
We're
that
gonna
position?
a ring-a-ding-ding the old rock elevator, and I'm going down about 100 feet to Madame Yang, and because she's like on the cliff, right?
Right.
So my plan.
I mean, she's actively moving down.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go down. My plan is to
How fast
have
is
Brock.
how
as
fast is the
5
Brock
feet.
elevator?
So we're essentially going to jump and just tear through on this little rock elevator down, and he's gonna meet.
He's turning himself into a Brock slide, if you will.
So he's gonna go down and meet Madame Yang where she's at on the rope.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop out like, what's it, like an Attack on Titan when the guy just jumps out of the wall.
Yeah. Okay,
I-
give yourself an appropriate status effect. I'm guessing either prepared or empowered.
Well, I did get pretty inspired. I could say.
I suppose you could say that it was
Uh,
inspired.
Yeah, I'll go empowered. Wait, yeah, empowered. So
Okay.
I clear 1 fatigue at the end of each
And
exchange.
That's at the round. At the end of the round.
Okay, and I rolled a 10 on that.
Oh yeah, so you can take an additional basic move there from the
Can you
defense
just
maneuver.
do it again?
Can you
Wait, just go down
continue
twice?
to seize a position.
I mean, I'm already where I need to be. Like, I guess I can use the additional move to pop out and be like
Just hang
under
on the
Madame
rope
Yang.
with her.
Here's what you could do. You could ready yourself, given that you're moving downwards, to try to meet up with Madame Yang. You could ready yourself and inflict a status effect on her.
I think she would be stunned because she probably wouldn't imagine someone's gonna pop out of the wall.
Oh, hey, I just realized something. You seized a position first, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so you establish an advantageous position. That's you using seize a position. Then, sorry, I was misreading. You get it. What was it that you took? Empowered.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get empowered through being ready. Okay, sorry, that's my bad. But yeah, basically that encompasses everything. So you start shooting down. You ready yourself to pop out and hopefully stop Madame Yang.
Well, would she be stuck? Because she could also feel trapped because she's literally stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Nice.
Oh,
Back to back.
Okay, so it's up to you. It's up to you. Do you want to feel empowered or do you want to make her trapped?
Me empowered or her trapped? So my abilities will be naturally stronger and I clear fatigue at the end of the exchange. Or she feels completely helpless. Must mark a combination of 3 conditions or 3 fatigue to escape.
Yes.
I'm trapped.
So she would. So then she would So if she's trapped, then she would also feel like angry, afraid, guilty, insecure. One of those, like 3 of those,
Right.
Or 3 fatigue.
Or 3 fatigue. Yep.
She'll probably go with 3 fatigue. I mean, she's healthy.
So I could either mark 3 fatigue on her. I'm gonna mark 3 fatigue on her. She feels.
Well, I think she decides. Yeah.
Oh,
but I
she
digress. Yeah.
Fatigue, yeah. But she's taking 3 effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3
So
negatives.
Yeah.
3. I will trap Madame Yang. She feels trapped. She's
Yes.
like, oh, this strapping young man who buried me alive.
She's coming.
I'm dangling
So,
on a rope.
I was gonna say
Help
she's
me.
coming down the mountain. She's holding onto a rope as she slides down, and she's got an airbender that's chasing after her. And then she starts to feel this rumble underneath the mountain as something seems to be headed her way. She can feel it in the rocks as she's, going down this road. Awesome, fantastic. We will jump back to that here shortly. Fantastic. We will move on to advance and attack. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm striking the person who's striking me.
Okay, sounds good. Roll a passion. Roll with passion.
Ugh. I got a 7.
A 7. Okay, you can take a basic move then. All right, so you're striking. What are you doing to strike out at this person?
I'm a kicker.
Okay, sounds good. Just
Square
straight
in
up
the jaw.
kick.
You got
Bam.
water
All right,
bandage.
so you kick up. She's pretty much out at this point
water.
anyway. She's taking a whole bunch of hit as it is.
We're in a cave, Brock.
You kick your foot
Connor.
around and slam it into her face, and she falls down. She is out. She is done.
Yes.
Awesome.
Suck
So
it.
that's good. Guo. Oh, actually, so Guo, you're not doing advance and attack, right?
I am doing.
Oh, you are doing it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because you were all prepared. You pinpointed. Okay. So who are you attacking then?
So there's 2 guys left, right?
Yes.
Where are they at?
One is in the back of the room, kind of where nearby where Brock just kind of dove under, and the other one's not too far from you and actually fighting with.
He's
Bill.
fighting Bill.
Yeah.
So that's 10 actually.
10. All right. So you actually can do 2, both of which could be strike if you wanted to.
So I am gonna do strike.
Sweet.
And with my pinpoint aim, it says I do not have to mark fatigue to choose what you inflict.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
I'll do the guy over by Brock.
Okay.
What is he doing over there?
He was punching on Brock, but then all of a sudden Brock kind of dove under the floor. So this actually is kind of funny because as soon as he dives under the floor, the guy's just kind of standing there, and then he looks up and there's Guo like ready to flick a pebble at him. And with pinpoint accuracy, you fire this pebble over, strikes him dead in the forehead like a David and Goliath situation, and the man topples down.
Nice.
And then you have one more advance and attack.
I'll aim up on the guy by Bill and do the same thing.
All right, perfect. You turn to this other individual and you pull another pebble, maybe bend the pebble out of your bag. Fire that one, goes flying over, hits him, I'm gonna say in the shoulder maybe, something like that. Knocks them back. They are, the last one there, they're incredibly exhausted and they are afraid. He falls to the ground. He pulls his own mask off and he starts to kind of back away from you all and he says,
"Where am I? What's happening here? Who are you people?"
and with that, you guys have essentially pulled yourself out of combat because this guy's no longer engaged with you. I'm going to cut over to Brock. So Brock, as you are tunneling under the ground, you suddenly burst forth from the mountain, nearly hitting Madame Yang. She is going to be marking 3 fatigue in response to this.
Yes.
As she lets go of the rope and sort of kicks off of the mountain, falling dead air straight towards the ground. But at the very last second, you see out of her hands and feet small flames as she slows her descent.
This still doesn't explain how she escaped out of the ground.
I'm just going to say,
Is she the Avatar?
to give you closure,
Yes.
that she has assistants
That are
and
earthbender.
employees that are earthbenders.
But how did they know?
Well, she
I
probably.
think there were
They're
2 that
screaming.
were in
No.
the
She wasn't
area.
in the
no, that she was
ground.
Yeah, they were
the
right
2
next to
lackeys
her.
were lured away,
Right.
and
I
she
think
was alone. So I
That's why he
sunk
buried
into
her alive.
They obviously got out and then they helped her, or maybe somebody at the party. I don't know.
Hey.
Maybe there was a person next
All
to
right.
you didn't know about.
Yeah. She
right.
didn't Minecraft die like some people.
Well, speaking of Minecraft, all right. So what is my position as of right now?
I guess flying through the air.
Okay. All right. Am
Above-
I good to keep advancing and attacking?
Sure.
Okay.
I thought we were out of combat.
You guys are.
So, all right. So Brock
Brock is plummeting to the ground.
he's
Actually,
plummeting to the ground. Yeah.
as Brock is plummeting towards the ground where Madame Yang is hopping into this hot leaf juice cart.
Don't you dare tell me the guru comes and gets me.
And Guru Tapik is sort of flying alongside of you at this point on his air glider as you guys are plowing towards Madame Yang.
Yep.
We're going to close out episode 5.
No.
I'm going to tell you the plan anyways. I'm pulling a piece of the mountain
Okay.
out of the mountain and just hucking it at Madame Yang. There is no shot she deflects that. She can't. She can't.
Hey everyone, Skylar the Game Master for Benders Brews and the Creative Director over at Session Zero Heroes here. I just wanted to give you a quick outro before you head over to the next episode or call it a day. Firstly, thank you so much for listening to our show. It means so much to us to have such amazing people like yourself that enjoy the content that we produce. Without you, there really wouldn't be much point in all the work that we put into recording, editing, and sharing our TTRPG sessions with all of you. With that being said, we would love it if you would throw some love our way and drop us a review or a rating or whatever it is called wherever you're listening to the show based on whatever platform that allows you to leave reviews and leave recommendations. It means a lot to us to get to hear why you love the show we make, and it also helps the show reach other listeners as well, allowing us to grow our community. So, if you're feeling especially generous, you could even go as far as to share our show to your friends and family who also enjoy TTRPG actual play podcasts. It's really expensive for us to be able to advertise, and we don't do much of it, so it's a lot more help to have you guys share it with people that you know will enjoy it, and then they can join in the community that we're creating. That would make you a Session Zero hero yourself. And additionally, we'd love to have you stop by on one of our various social platforms and interact with the channel there. You can find Session Zero Heroes on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Discord. We post all sorts of updates, clips, and even the occasional behind-the-scenes look at what we're up to. And if you're ever looking for information on SZH, or you don't use a podcast streaming site but you want to listen to our shows, you can do so by checking out our website at sessionzeroheroes.com. And while you're there, you can find out about the cast and the crew that make our show and provide the players' voices in all of our various series. And if you're feeling especially cheeky, you can check out our merch store where we have a ton of designs and products to choose from, all of which help us pay the bills and keep the lights on. So once again, thank you all so much for listening, and remember to stay curious, stay heroic, until we roll again.